chapter 11, verse 27. Now, these are the generation of Terah. Terah begat Abraham, now and Haran begat Lot. Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldeans. And Abraham and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarah, his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife. They went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldeans to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. Verse 32. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Now, 6 signs of inherited attacks. When you look at Abraham's family, Terah, the father of Abraham, gave birth to Nahor, Abraham, and Haran in that order. And this man Terah had the incidents of the case in which he lost his son Haran in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldeans. So Haran, the father of God, died before Terah, his father. Abraham and Nahor, they took wives. Sarai became barren. Terah decided to embark on a journey with Lot, Abraham, now to the land of Canaan. So while they were going to Canaan, they said they lodged somewhere on the way at the land of Haran, and they remained there until Terah died in Haran and was buried. Praise the Lord. Looking into this family, you discover that there were basically 3 cases of failure. 1, premature death. Haran, supposedly the last son of Terah, younger brother of Abraham, died before Abraham and Nahor and their father was buried. Next, Sarah was barren. Next, Terah was going to Canaan land, but ended up on the way in Haran for no reason speculated. He remained there until he died, but he was on his way to Canaan land, so there was no fulfillment there. What you see there is failure, stagnation. These were 3 cases in the family. Near success syndrome. 1, premature death. 2, barrenness. 3, near success syndrome or failure or stagnation. But these were the 3 things that were common in the family that Abraham stemmed from. There are signs today still in our lives, even when you are born again, and you need to be on the lookout for, that shows that you inherited an attack. Because Abraham, after God called him in Genesis chapter 12 from verse 1 down, Abraham still suffered part of what the family had been going through, but he overcame. That's why we are on this topic, to enable you overcome. Now, what are the signs that you inherit an attack? Number 1, you see the same problem among your relatives. You see the same problem among your relatives. Maybe you have a particular problem, you see it repeated among your relatives. It's a sign that that thing is common to your bloodline, common to your family lineage. In the case of Abraham, Sarah was barren. Abraham walked with God for 25 years before the barrenness of Sarah was broken. Sarah had this issue, Isaac. Isaac went and married a descendant of Nahor, the brother of Abraham. That's Rebekah by name. They were 20 years in the marriage before Rebekah gave birth to Jacob and Esau. That's 20 years case of barrenness. Jacob went and married again a descendant of Nahor. Jacob, the son of Isaac, the son of Abraham, went and married Rachel. Rachel too faced the same issue of barrenness. So from Terah to Abraham to Isaac and Jacob, there was that barrenness thing that surfaced in the family of Abraham with Sarah, repeating itself from Rebekah to Rachel. It was continuing, but it was broken along the line. The next thing you see, there is a sign of an inherited attack is this. You experience the attack each time you come to your people. When you come close to your people, either you give them a phone call, come to the village, you come back, either you are sacked from your work, or people that you are working with, or something you are doing just get spoiled. You notice it frequently. That means that each time you come to them, they are like portals of this attack. So maybe sometime you walk away, it's on the low side. When you come close to your people, it comes up, it jacks up. That's a sure sign there is an inherited attack somewhere that has to be handled. The third one is you receive an attack each time you gift or receive gift from your relative. Either you gift to your relative, give something to your relative, or you receive gift. It could be your father, your mother, your brothers, your sister, uncles. You receive gift from them or send gifts to them. The moment you receive or send, the next thing you face is an attack. It could be sickness, it could be sacking from the work, it could be a disappointment, it could be a failure of something, it could be a robbery attack, whatever it is, it keeps repeating itself each time you gift to your family members. It shows clearly that there's a sign of an inherited attack, particularly when you see this kind of thing happening with other relatives of yours. There's an inherited trait there. Number 4, you meet this attack at the common age. Yes, this is what I mean by a common age. Maybe in some families you'll see that when somebody is 29 or 35, diabetes. The other person comes to 29, 35, diabetes. Another person comes to 29, 35, diabetes. If it is premature death, each time you come to 40, death. 40, death. Towards 40 or a few years after 40 years of age, death. A common age. That attack repeats itself at the common age. Maybe marriage breaks after 5 years of marriage. You marry 5 to 7 years or 5 to 10 years, it breaks. There's something there to be considered, to look into. There's a trace of an inherited attack there. The 5th one, you see or hear strange voices affirming its presence. You hear strange voices affirming the presence of this attack. You're walking on the road and you hear voices telling you, I'll be with you. Voices telling you, you're about to die, you're about to fail, this thing will fail. And it keeps repeating itself. And sometimes you discuss with your parent, you discover the same thing is happening there. Or you have a dream in which somebody appeared to you in your dream. Maybe an effigy, like a human being just appeared to you. It could be a full-blown human being, full-fledged human being, or an effigy just appeared to you and begin to talk. It's a trace of an ancestral demon coming from an ancestral altar. And sometimes they claim ownership. They just tell you are not going to succeed in life. Your forefathers sold you to me before you were born, so you are not going to make it. Stop that attempt to redo you. You are not. Those efforts are not going to work. You see them, those kind of attacks or counter. You have them in the dream. It's a sure sign you inherited an attack. You inherited a set of demonic attack. What you do here is like Abraham. In the case of Abraham, when he encountered God, he dealt with altars. The first thing he did in Genesis chapter 12, verse 6, 7, and 8, when he arrived Shechem, was to raise an altar unto the Lord. He raised an altar unto the Lord. There he sacrificed on that altar. The next thing God did with Abraham was to enter into a personal covenant with him. Genesis chapter 15, Genesis chapter 17. So Abraham embarked on a covenant lifestyle. He kept his own part of the covenant. Remember, covenant is an agreement between God and man, in which the both of you agreed to undertake distinct responsibility. As for God, he agreed to give Abraham child and land. As for Abraham, he agreed to worship God faithfully. So Abraham kept his part of it, and so God broke the yoke of barrenness from his family. So you engage a personal covenant with God and keep the covenant no matter the length of years. Abraham was a student or a custodian of covenant for 25 years. He practiced it until he excelled in covenant. When he excelled in covenant, the yoke was broken. In Genesis chapter 18, when the angel came, the angel promised him, this time next year, your wife will have a child. Abraham was 99 years old, Sarah was 89 years old, and by the grace of God, as the angels that appeared to Abraham spoke to him at Mamre while he was there by the tent door in the heat of the day, and Sarah was in the tent, the period that the angels told Abraham Sarah would conceive and have a child, Sarah conceived and had a child as the angels told Abraham. It came to pass. Genesis 20 from verse 1 till 7. You see, it came to pass just as angels told Abraham it would be. So a covenant lifestyle, he became a keeper, a covenant keeper, ardent covenant keeper, engaged in personal covenant with God. raise an altar in the house of God. Next, to crown it all, Abraham was a tither, meaning that he had a man over his head. So you need a man with a higher grace over your head to pray over you so that these generational trends can be broken. And today I pray over you, listening to me, every generational trend in your lineage, like in the case of Abraham, failure, premature death, and stagnation, I declare broken from your bloodline, broken from your family. You shall not experience this wickedness again. You shall not experience this evil again. It has come to an end. You are free today in Jesus' mighty name.